Sometimes we as women avoid talking about our emotions. We might want to avoid being labeled as emotional. But today we're having an Emotional Monday, and here to let us know why putting a spotlight on our feelings is a good thing, we welcome our emotion expert, Dr. Antoinette D. Brookins, founder and clinical director of Antoinette Brookins and Associates Family Counseling. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. And Emotional Mondays, this is something you've been doing for a little bit.
So almost 2 years now we've been doing Emotional Mondays. That's through the Holy Ghost Homegirls. And so Emotional Mondays kind of came into fruition because women have a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that we deal with, so many things that are on our plate. And we just need a venue to be heard and for somebody to kind of say, I get it, or I don't get it, but I'd like to get it. You know, how to kind of just deal with some of those different emotions. So I said, how can I use this to be able to talk to women? I mean, I'm a psychotherapist, I'm a pastor's wife. How can I do this? And so I said, why not use what's free right now? We use Facebook. So we go Facebook Live every Monday at 6 p.m. except for today because I'm going to be doing it here. And so I just allow women to send me questions. They send the questions to me via email, and so I have a little time to kind of process them, and so the next week I go and respond to the women on Facebook. I tell them to tap in and tag a friend, come on in, let's have a discussion about it, and so that's what we do. That's
absolutely amazing, because I mean, when you're in a group of women, you can't help sometimes to be afraid of being judged, but with a factor like Facebook, you don't have to worry about that.
Yes, I mean, the thing about judgment and things like that, I mean, we have this whole issue with, like, what is somebody else going to think about us? And so when we consider what other people are thinking about us, sometimes it keeps us stuck. And so when we get stuck, we can't go anywhere. It's like being on a treadmill. We're not really going anywhere. And that's the problem with that.
Well, especially nowadays with, social media and other platforms and all that, it's really hard not to judge yourself against someone else. How do you... I mean, that's the question. We all do it. We find ourselves doing it.
The question of the century, the whole comparison trap. The thing about comparison is envy, jealousy, comparison, it's all so normal. And so it's kind of abnormal for us not to judge one another. We look over and we say, wow, that's kind of nice. I'd kind of like that, you know? But when we think about, like, that God has given each one of us a gift. So it's better to just focus on ourselves rather than trying to not be jealous or not be envious. We need to use it as a caveat to move us forward. So we can do a self-assessment and say, okay, what is it about this person that I like? I like something about her. She is pretty amazing. Do I have any of those qualities? Can I use some of those qualities? You know, and put them into play for ourselves. So we don't want to emulate them. We just want to say, I like that. And just kind of see what we have to offer and move forward. That means that sometimes we do have to do some training, you know, because self-improvement is so important. That's what keeps us stuck too, is because we look over at somebody else's yard and see that it's so green. It's like, because they're watering it. They went to school, they took a class, they're doing a training, and they're staying in their own lane. That's another thing. We try to operate in somebody else's lane. So I'll look over at you and I'm like, wow, she's amazing. I wish I could do this. It's like, well, is that your gifting though? Where do you excel? So when we stay in our own lane, we're more fulfilled, and then we're able to do the things that God has called us to do.
That makes a lot of sense. When you find something you're happy with and you know is for you, that's the best way to do it. Keep yourself happy.
Absolutely, because that whole comparison thing, that's gonna come. That's very normal, but self-assess and move on.
What are some tips you would give someone who's maybe having a hard time doing that, or sees themselves kind of judging themselves off of someone else too often?
You know, I tell people a lot, if you find yourself in that position, stay off of social media, because social media is a place for us to highlight so many different things, and sometimes it's a facade. It's like, I mean, we have filters and we have all of this kind of stuff that makes us look more enhanced, and sometimes it's not real. Sometimes it is, but most times it's not. And so if we know that we're having a problem comparing ourselves, stop looking. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look forward and look up at God and ask them, what do you have for me? And so that's one of the main things that I tell people to do. Give your Facebook a rest for a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, how about in real life, not just social media? Are there things you can do in your everyday life, maybe when you're going to work or just walking around? Are there some tips?
Yeah, absolutely. Acknowledge it, compliment people on the things that they like, right?
Okay.
And just ask them, hey, how did you do that? I really admire this about you, you know, and then go back and do that self-assessment. Ask yourself, now, what I want to do, the things that I think are amazing, do I actually have the qualities to do that? Is this something that I can invest in? Do I need to take a class to do this? You know, do I need to go back to school? What do I need to do? You know, sometimes I tell people to do like, write down like on a piece of paper, all of the things that you are actually amazing at. We'll be so surprised to see that we actually rock at a lot of different things. And so if we really start to look at that, then we'll say, hey, I think I have all the goods to be able to do something amazing and make my own mark in the world. But it starts with looking within.
Absolutely. I love, it's just when you take something you think is negative, but you put a positive spin on it.
Absolutely.
Do you guys tackle any of these at your practice or anything, or if someone wanted to come in and chat about it, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, so now if they were looking for psychotherapy, they definitely need to come through Antoinette Brookins and Associates. But if we're just talking about some things like, I just want to hang out with Christian women, I'm just certain things that I kind of just don't know what to do with, they're not necessarily a mental health issue. That's where the Holy Ghost Homegirls come into play. Just come and hang out with us. We're going to have a discussion about it. And when we leave, we're certain to have at least 3 tips to help us to move forward.
Oh, is this kind of like a weekly thing, or do you guys get together? How does that work?
So we typically every other month we have a workshop.
Okay.
So we have a workshop that's coming up October, the first Monday in October. I think like at 6 p.m. I have to double check that. But I think this particular one is, he called my name Victory. And so we're going to be looking at some of the different things that we have been called that may not have been so positive. And so then we'll start to look at, what do I want to be called? What is God calling me? What have I been called to do? It's like, no, I'm not something negative. I'm something very positive. And so we get together as sisters and we rally each other. We are able to highlight some of those other things that you may not see because, well, because you're looking at the negative.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And we're not done just yet.